Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Thursday. We have a fantastic Div C East matchup for you. Bancho versus House of Chez. Not just should it be a good game, but I'm going to put up these C East standings, and you will see the last regular season week of NGS Season 6, and boy, oh boy, is there a dogfight at the bottom. You must be looking at these standings and going, gosh, gee willikers, Mongoose, nothing is decided here. And you would be correct. 7 through 10, any of these teams can finish 7th to 10th. Not only that, but a number of these teams still have yet to play one another. Not only is that a chance to score points, but also a chance to score the tiebreaker. And the matchup we have here, Bancho versus House of Chez, for example, if House of Chez takes all 3 points and dominates this matchup, they will jump up into 8th place and secure the tiebreaker over Bancho. So these games, for both of these teams, are huge. House of Chez trying to break into the playoff standings. Bancho trying desperately to cling on to the 8th and final playoff spot. Should be a lot of fun. Both of these teams really going to be leaving everything they have in the Nexus, trying to pick up every last point. And with the balance patch this week, Blizzard fixed all of the various bugs and such that led to bans, so there are no bans either. Really should be a great matchup. We are in lobby. Game 1 will be played at Cursed Hollow. Sorry about that. Game 1 will be on Cursed Hollow, which is House of Chez's map choice. That will leave Ban Cho with the first pick. So a lot on the line for these two teams. We have 8 out of 10 players ready to go. Just waiting for a last couple more here from Ban Cho. And while we're waiting for them, let's put those standings up again. I'm going to make the argument that Division C East has been the most compelling, the most fun division in oh my goodness, ignore this. This is the wrong standings. Oh my god, Mongoose, you're terrible. I had the right thing. There we go. Now it all makes sense. All of that stuff I was talking about before didn't make any sense. So look at number 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10. All of those positions currently interchangeable. And I didn't even include Winky Face, who's sitting at 6 with those same number of points as Wood League. So really positions 6 through 10 still in play. This division has been fantastic and competitive throughout the entirety of the regular season. Some teams have been better than others, but really no one's been dominant. All of these teams have taken games off of each other. That is a good question, Gigglesmack. What happens if there is a 3-way tie for 8th place? So, ties this season in NGS are handled as such. 2 teams tie, well, we play a round robin. It's easy. Whichever team won the regular season matchup will win the tiebreaker. In the event that more than 2 teams tie, we'll basically create a set of mini standings where only points that the teams have scored versus one another will be used. So if you have Team A, Team B, and Team C, we will take the points that they have only scored off of each other and use those points to break the tie. Whoever has the most points versus all of the other teams that are involved in the tiebreaker will win the tie. If that still leaves teams tied, which is pretty unlikely but possible, if that still leaves teams tied, then we will go to a KDA, which is pretty unlikely if I remember. I'm actually not sure about that part past that. It's going to be pretty unlikely to get past that first tiebreaker, but you know what? I do have a minute while we're waiting for House of Chez. See if we can pull up the rules so I can make sure I'm giving proper information. Most points-headed matches, teams... Okay, yeah, so if there's still multiple times, teams with the highest total KDA over the course of the season. If they're still tied after KDA, which is virtually impossible. If they're still tied after KDA, and the tie is for seeding purposes only, so there's 3 teams tied for 6th, 7th, and 8th place, right? All the teams are going to make the playoffs. It's just for seeding. In that case, we do a coin flip. Right, so if the 3-way tie is for seeding only, it's a coin flip. If, however, the multiple tie is for actually getting into the playoffs, then we're going to have to work out a play-in system. What'll be a 1-game play-in. And you know, to take it a step further, so if you have these 3 teams, Team A, B, and C, they're tied in points, and so you take the standings versus just the 3 of them, right? And teams A and B are higher than C. So C would be 3rd in that scenario, and then you only have 2 tied teams left. You're going to use actually the head-to-head to break the tie on top of the tie. So the only way we would ever get down to KDA is if there was if there were 3 or more teams tied in points for the season, points versus one another, and KDA, and that's pretty close to impossible. I suppose statistically possible, but yowza, I think that would be something. So we're still waiting for House of Chez to throw out that R. And once they do, we will get going here. So it looks like we have the R from House of Chez. Hopefully that means we are going to get moving, and I will bring up that sweet, sweet lobby screen. All right, welcome to Game 1, ladies and gentlemen, on First Olive. First pick, first ban, going over to ban Show. I wouldn't anticipate them going with their namesake and actually banning Show. I would imagine something a little more meta. The higher you climb up in the standings, the more meta bans you see. The lower you go down, the more niche bans you see. But at this point in the season, I mean, the book on these teams is out there. They know each other. So I think it's probably a little more common to see targeted bans than meta bans specifically, because, you know, between Stats of the Storm and Heroes Profile, you know what the other team wants to run. And that is what I imagine the Gul'dan ban for ban Show is, exactly that. You don't really see first ban Gul'dan. That's going to be targeted. I would imagine it's somebody on House of Chez. Really going down to the wire here. House of Chez going to ban out Nubrek. Love that ban. Despite the nerfs on, was that yesterday or was that Tuesday? Whenever it was earlier this week, the little bit of nerfs they gave to a Nubrek, he is still, in my opinion, probably the best all-around tank in the game. So much in his base kit, multiple stuns, he's pretty durable. Cocoon is very strong. And for ban Show, they're continuing with the Mage Choke. First banning Gul'dan, and now banning Kael'thas. And let's see if House of Chez continues with the tank choke. Will they get rid of Diablo? And they do. So ban Show targeting the mages. House of Chez targeting those tanks. Still a number of powerful heroes on the board, and the first one that pops to my mind is Ana. She's so strong. Would not mind seeing that at all if you're ban Show. And it's not going to be Joe. I've been seeing in NGS games a rash, and I mean a rash, of high picks Johannas. Teams really like the Johanna. I feel like I'm swimming against the river because I just don't find a lot of value in her. But, you know, I must be wrong, because there are a lot of teams that are having a lot of success with the Johanna. Ban Show, so much success that they're going to take her first pick. And on the flip side, House of Chez grabbing Jaina fast, as the number of mages left on the board is going down. Jaina paired with the Tyrande, very powerful. Burst damage with the Hunter's Mark can be really strong. Tyrande also offers the vision onto a map with double bosses. Ban Show opting to go with that maneuver as well, in that they're taking a mage in Orphea. They know there's not too many left, so don't want to let her go by go to the second ban phase and risk her not being there anymore. House of Chez banning out the Raynor. That's a little surprising. I really like Raynor paired with the Jaina in particular, so I would have kind of liked to see House of Chez target the Raynor for themselves and force a ban from Ban Show. But it is going to be Falstad banned out by Ban Show. He's not a hero I've seen too much of this season, a little bit here and there. But Bancho, knowing that they already have Tyrande, so Brightwing is not really an option, want to make sure that House of Chez don't have a global answer for Dahaka, and that's going to explain the Falstad ban. And on the flip side, we have a Blaze Ragnaros. So the question that opens up to me is Blaze, is this going to be a main tank Blaze, or are they going to have a triple frontline, a big, beefy frontline with a solo carry Jaina? Going to have to wait for Flash's last pick from House of Chez to have that question answered. Bancho, for their last two picks, it is going to be Cassia, pairing so well with the blinds from Johanna as well as Stukov. So a good, well-rounded standard composition here from Bancho. And let's see what House of Chez does. Blaze is typically utilized in more of a flanking off lane position. That's solo. He can fake it as a main tank, but it is difficult to do. And they're going to have an ETC main tank, so a big, and I mean big, front line for House of Chez. Jaina going to really have to carry the primary damage source for them. But ETC Jaina go really well together. You can put a Starfall on top of that. Sulfura Smash on top of all the stuns from Blaze and ETC. So definitely a beef, no pun intended with the ETC, but a beef advantage for House of Chez here. Loading up this screen, and I'm going to have to give it to House of Chez for the portrait synergy here on the loading screen. Hey, Valkamar, welcome. Should be a good one as we have Mariner and Caribou doing a little two-man dance here in the Nexus. But let's introduce our teams. The blue team sitting currently in a very volatile C East in 8th and last playoff position. We have Bancho with Sluggadin on Orphea, Shu Sui on Johanna, who eats the owl, Spice playing Stukov, Quinnell on Dahaka, and Sluggadin on Orphea. And the red team, House of Chez, on the outside looking in currently in the playoff picture. We have Flash playing ETC, Chesmix playing Jaina, Death 1300s on Ragnaros, Caribou on Tyrande, and Mariner 005 on Blaze. Flash finally decides to make his appearance known, does go after the Cassia, but the power slide misses. Dahaka's already in the top lane. You think this is a combustion ultimate choice? Well, if you are going to go combustion, one of the first clues you're going to get is this level 1 talent right here. Because combustion can be interrupted during the charge, as we have a mini bush party here with Flash and Chesmix waiting for Stukov. Maybe there's the power slide, there's the Lunar Flare, there's the Jaina. First blood, well executed by House of Chez, sending an early message here, taking the Stukov. So what I started to say there, if you are going to go combustion, which is an interruptible heroic, in my humble opinion, it is almost requisite to take new habits at 1. That gives you an unstoppable proc on your D, so you prop your unstoppable and then start charging your combustion. So early indications from Blaze are that it could indeed be combustion heroic. A little bit of odd laning assignment. They actually have the two frontliners in the top and bottom. Johanna, solo laning. She's perfectly capable. Dahaka currently getting a little bit bullied by Blaze on the top. But I like House of Chez's macro here. They prioritize the Bruiser camp. They could choose to rotate bottom to the Giant camp if they want. With both frontliners off in the lanes, there's really nobody here to protect the heroes from the team of House of Chez here. A little over 2 minutes, we're going to see the Raven Lord announce this next objective soon. With only Cassia here, there's going to be some structure damage done here. This top tower is going to fall to this assault here by House of Chez. Really pushing in with this Merc Camp. I love what they're doing. Flash holding that front line really, really well. However, when this objective pops, that is a lot of free damage taken by Flash, forced to power slide out of there. But about a tower and a half. Early structure lead over to House of Chez. And now Blaze, as he does Shadow Charge into Dahaka, forced to pop that Essence. Blaze has to decide, is he going to clear out these Giants, or is he going to rotate down to the objective? And if he doesn't, and you're a House of Chez, you have to listen for that little burrow sound. However, aggressive positioning one more time by House of Chez. Here comes the ETG straight onto the back line. They do get the Orphea and the Power Slide and the Blizzard. Down she goes. The Lurking Arm a little bit late. Stukov forced to cede the position. The only way Ban Cho can step in now is for Dahaka to come down, but I don't think they're going to do it. So far here, House of Chez has really looked on the money with aggressive positioning and flanking. Jaina, don't step up there by yourself, though. However, they're not forcing them back. Power Slide misses. Blinds go onto the backside, and now it's actually 3-on-4. Ban Cho forcing back House of Chez, and Orphea has respawned and is on her way. Chesmic's namesake taking a lot of damage from the Lurking Arm, and despite the clean execution of Orphea, Ban Cho, down a man, forces back House of Chez and actually secures the first objective. I would have really liked to have seen a little more aggression by House of Chez there to bully them out of that positioning with the numbers advantage. So it looks like House of Chez is going to the Giants. Ban Cho will be taking the Bruiser Camp. And the permanent brawl in the top lane, where you look at these structures, and with the exception of the Siege Giants, this has really been Blaze really doing a great job here. On the Dahaka, taking out the bottom tower. And once again, though, bot lane objective, Blaze has to make a decision, and he is kind of low on mana. I would recommend that he tap on the way, too. So Dahaka currently in the top lane. They do catch the Stukov. You can't check the bushes as support, ladies and gentlemen. That is why. Let your tank go in there first. However, Blaze may have overstayed, and he does. So a Stukov traded out for a Blaze. Chesmic's trying to channel in the back line, but Jaina forces her back. Here comes Dahaka. Now even numbers on both sides. There goes the Cassia, able to secure a Jaina, and ETC falling as well. House of Chez running for their lives. And now Ban Cho going to push in with this mid-camp. That's what I'd like to see them do. Get some value out of this thing here. So with the first two tributes captured by Ban Cho, they are on the verge of 10. If you're the side of House of Chez, you want this objective to pop like now. Wow, an aggressive play here. ETC, Jaina, Tyrande all going on the boss. I would hope Hunter's Mark would go on that. With level 10s are here, Ban Cho doesn't have any idea quite yet. They're making absolutely no move on their own boss. That owl may have just given up the gig, though, because it came straight from the boss, but it's going to be too little too late. House of Chez sneaking the top boss, and now they have to decide if they're going to move in on this tribute. Level 10s are here. Is that Crushing Jaws? No, Eternal Feast for Orphea, Blessed Shield, Valkyrie for Cassia, Flailing Swipe for Stukov, and Isolation for Dahaka. No 10s on board for House of Chez. Tongue coming out from the Dahaka misses. Ban Cho is in aggressive position. They want to catch them here. 10s are oh so close, but House of Chez don't go too early. Danger pings come out. Jet propulsion forcing them to get away with a zoning Blizzard and Lunar Flare. Despite being so close to 10, House of Chez decides to give the tribute and the curse. Boss is very close to securing that top fort. It will almost do so, but not quite. House of Chez in a little bit of a spot. Level 10s, have you noticed, are here for House of Chez. It is going to be Stage Dive instead of Mosh Pit. Lava Wave, Starfall, Ring of Frost. Blaze has not called a Ring of Frost catches two. They're going onto Stukov. They're going to get him. Stay on Johanna. Her Iron Skin is down, guys. Get her! There goes the damage from Jaina. Lunar Flare has to be up here pretty soon. There it is. There's the rag. There's the rest of the damage. When you guys see Johanna's iron skin goes down, punish her. Don't let her get away. Well played there by House of Chez. Defending strongly despite losing structures in the top lane. Now they are rotating to the bottom to respond to ban Cho. I don't think they realized the other was there. So ETC with Stage Dive can now stay in the off lane. It gives them a global response to Dahaka. Jaina and Tyrande are going to the giant camps in the bottom lane. And an interesting Molten Core here by Rag to solo push back the side of Ban Cho. Ban Cho now posturing in the boss area. No, they're actually trying to bait a boss here. The House of Chez does have a Tyrande though, and that is exactly why you owl first. Nice play by Caribou, sniffing out the bush party. I want to see ETC off in a lane, top lane, soaking. Take advantage of that stage dive. Don't pick stage dive if you're not going to use it. Guys, ETC, get up there. Giggle Schmack, ETC, 2 squish for that aggression. ETC is a little bit of a squishy tank, and his kit can kind of bait the player into getting himself into trouble, so you really have to pick your spots. Generally with ETC, you don't want to power slide forward too much unless you have a guaranteed kill. Usually you want to power slide up and down, side to side, but not directly into the enemy team, because if they're on the spot, they'll burn you down. So Lava Wave going in the bottom. All of the members of House of Chez are here mid, except for ETC top, which he should be with Stage Dive. Well done, guys. Blaze is doing the best he can. And actually not too shabby considering he's by himself. Members of House of Chez now rotating down with an ETC stage dive. They can take this if they want, but they did go the safe way. Rag doing what he can to hold him there. There is the stage dive. It does catch Johanna and Cassia. Eternal Feast is actually used as a zoning, and it is jet propulsion. There is Ring of Frost. Unfortunately doesn't catch anybody. The lurking arm takes out the Jaina on the counter engage. The tongue not able to secure a second kill, neither is Valkyrie. So aggressive rotation from House of Chez, but they do lose the Jaina with the counter engage on the lurking arm. I hadn't really gone over them yet. Oh, no, I did. I don't think I remember saying Blaze went combustion though, but he did. He did go combustion. And once again, for the 4th time this game, tribute over to Ban Cho. But the idea was right there for House of Chez. I think if they would have rotated through here, this little choke 2 bushes right here, instead of all the way around the backside, they might have been able to catch them on the way out of that fort. The damage was just a little too far to finish it up. Now House of Chez too far to contest this boss. Their own boss up in 20 seconds, so that's too long. They're just going to have to give this. I would like to see them grab that Cassia, though. She's a little too far out forward in mid lane. She is mounted up. If Jaina can dismount, and she can't, but ETC's got her if he wants it. They choke her out. Cone of Frost locks her down, as does the Jet Propulsion and Lunar Flare. So Blaze might be in trouble. He popped his Unstoppable a little early, forced to use Combustion. He does charge it to full strength, but all members were there. His team a little far to follow up. Ring of Frost only catches 1. It's the Stukov. Chesmix on the Jaina now in trouble. Really nice peels by Flash to Haka. Now very, very low. Stage dive onto the backside. Aggressive play by the ETC there, and they actually get Dahaka and Orphea. So this is the best moment that House of Chez has had thus far, and a little bit of a awkward kind of back and forth all over the place fight. It was more of a brawl than a surgical precision in the strike. Jaina is sent bottom lane. Rest of the members of House of Chez come up here. They have caught Stukov trying to interrupt it. Lunar Flare is off the mark, so do they have the damage to finish him off? Flailing Swipe to send them away. There goes the Valkyrie to try to peel for Stukov. Really nice play there by Cassia. Flash forced to disengage. Now all 5 members of both teams are up to Haka right in the middle of the enemy team. Danger pings go out. Flash in a weird position, kind of juking, forcing to face melt. But one more time, it looks like Ban Cho is trying for that tribute. Mariner is able to get the flame strike on him. The Owl not able to interrupt, and House of Chez forced back again. This is the second time we've seen this game where House of Chez actually wins the team fight either just before or at the objective, but they're unable to secure it. They can't seem to really take advantage of the opportunities they're affording themselves. They're actually up 8-5 in kills this game, but they have yet to secure a single objective or a single structure taken down. Now they are starting on their boss. 2 people eat the root, and there's going to be another root on the ETC taking a lot of damage. Bancho has sniffed this out. Nice anchoring by Flash. Here comes the members. They're afraid to check that bush. Nice job of Flash. They're not going to get here in time. Boss is secured. 16-16, so let's see if they take this fight. There's the power slide, catches Johanna and Dahaka. There goes the jet propulsion into the Ring of Frost, into the combustion. Eternal Feast on top of it. Valkyrie catches nobody. ETC goes down. Blaze goes down. Blessed Shield goes out. House of Chez being routed here. The Condemn and the Punish will secure the kill on the Jaina. Ragnarok trying to get away. Ragnaros trying to get away. He does not. That is a 4-4-0. In what looked to be initially like a solid engagement from House of Chez, but unable to convert. Boss lane in the top will cancel out some of this tribute for House of Chez, but really not going to get much with it. Bancho. They got to be targeting keeps here at this point. Johanna's pushing mid, Dahaka's pushing bottom. Members of House of Chez will be here momentarily. And here they are, eyeballing the Dahaka, who's currently a little far out, but there's no damage here. A nice juke. Great burrow on the Lunar Flare. Tongue on the ETC is kind of a little disengagement tool. They're not going to get Dahaka without any damage. Meanwhile, top lane. All of the members of Bancho are pushing in with the Giants and the Curse. This is going to be a lot of pressure on the top lane. There goes Molten Core, and this is a great call here between Jaina Blizzard and Molten Core. And Stage Dive actually doesn't catch anybody. Bancho had already disengaged away, so not going to get any value out of what's a pretty long cooldown. 100 seconds, 90 seconds, something like that. Stage Dive there. Jet Propulsion with the oil. Tongue does land on the Blaze. He is now in trouble. Isolated out from his team, does pop the combustion, which is interrupted semi-early. However, the Lurking Arm and Eternal Feast gets a lot of value, but it's actually Orphea that goes down to Jaina on the flank. ETC catches 2 or 3 there. Johanna isolated out. If she doesn't have Iron Skin, she is in trouble with the Tongue. Lands onto the Jaina. She goes down, as will Dahaka. Valkyrie catches nobody. Power Slide catches Dahaka. They have to be able to get him right here. Where's the Lunar Flare? Where is it? Just miss. Where's the oil? Where's the power slide? Somebody get him! There it is. That'll do it. So a 2-for-1 in favor of House of Chez, and I want to see them do something with these numbers. They just haven't been able to. Invading the Bruisers, great call. Get some value. Get everybody up here and bully them out of this. I will say Spice, with his Lurking Arm placement, has definitely been a problem for House of Chez. Jet Propulsion gets 2 into a Power Slide. Great engage. The Eternal Feast actually goes in, or the Stage Dive goes into the Eternal Feast, and that's another Stage Dive that doesn't get a lot of value there. And nice Eternal Feast by the Orphea. Between the Lurking Arm and the Eternal Feast, Bancho really has a lot of very difficult zoning tools. Checking the boss, nobody there. Thinking about it themselves. Owl does check it though, so nice play from Caribou to use the Owl. House of Chez on both of the camps here will secure the Bruisers and the Giants. And I love this setup here. This is exactly what you should be doing. ETC is off in the split, getting that side soak with Stage Dive. All the rest of the members of House of Chez are together. 10-10 in kills, almost 20-20 in team fight, or in level, I should say. This is not a must-get for either one of these teams. They look like they're targeting ETC. Can he get away? Power slide away, ETC. No, run! Run! His team is on the backside. There is the combustion. Full charge combustion does catch a couple. Valkyrie gets Ragnarok, and a Ring of Frost blows up Stukov. This stage dive hits a couple, and Bancho in a lot of trouble. Molten Core, this might be a wipe. Dahaka goes down. Jet Propulsion, almost there. Their health bars are pretty low. Nice Lunar Flare, really putting the pressure on Orphea there. I think this might be the first tribute of the game for House of Chez, but they're not going for it just yet. They want this boss with a 40-second death timer. Count it, 40 seconds before the members of Bancho are up. This boss should be free. This tribute should be free. I would like to see them kind of push in with this. This is 30 seconds of free push and an 18-minute boss. That last team fight was the best execution we've seen out of House of Chez this game. And they're going to make a double boss play. So not pushing it, making a double boss play instead. And actually, with the next tribute up there, they're probably going to parlay this double boss into a second free trib. And they will be in the best position they've been in all game long. Bancho has a lot of map cleanup to do. Top lane is pushing pretty hard with Katas. Mid lane is into that fort. It may go down even. And if it doesn't, it's going to be very close. They're going to have to rotate up and deal with this boss. 19-minute boss or so will be very powerful. But both teams level 20. This tribute doesn't mean anything if you're Bancho. I think you just give it. It's on the opposite side of the map. Give it up. Doesn't mean a whole lot. Flash pushing the minions in. They should be trying to secure this mid fort here if they can. Once the members of Bancho show top lane to clear out boss, just go ahead and take this mid fort. It should be free. See, as soon as those guys show top, House of Chez should go mid or push top. Either one is fine. But they need to keep pressing their advantage. They have a little bit of momentum right now. The wall is already down. This thing is working on the keep already, and that's what they decide. A little late. But they got there. Going to go ahead and finish off this mid fort for free. Even out the structures a little bit. Even out the lane pressure a little bit. But Bancho has recovered from that nicely. They are going to have to defend this, though. Tribute will be curse for the side of House of Chez. ETC going to pressure that top lane. Stage dive is up and available. And he took the upgrade on the stage dive, which makes it much, much bigger. I'm not sure why Rag and Blaze are going up there. I wonder if they're trying to just secure that top keep and they're not going to go on the tribute. And that's what it looks like. They're just going to try to keep putting pressure here on this top keep. It's very, very low. Molten Core is actually doing a nice job of pushing these lanes up too. Giants with the minion wave and the members of House of Chez here, if they get a keep off of this, this will be a great call, but Bancho has responded. That minion wave and the Giants really should be enough. It's going to be a close thing. Great disengagement by House of Chez. A lot of teams would have overstayed there and gotten punished for it, but they didn't. They took what they could get and backed up. House of Chez really playing a lot cleaner the second half of this game. And this curse right in their wheelhouse, right where they want it to be. They probably will have time to burn this. They're going to burn the Merc camp here, get pressuring down the mid lane. And they will. And now they need to be careful of this bush. Don't face check the bush, guys. Throw in a Q. There we go. Both teams here on the bush. House of Chez with the superior position. And let's see what happens. Posturing continues. House of Chez giving up that forward bush there. Double Lava Wave for Ragnaros? Yes, it is. So double Lava Wave is really going to put a lot of pressure on this. And House of Chez can play this slow. They have Merc Pressure bottom. They have Merc Pressure mid with the Lava Wave. If they just deny this and stall, the map is definitely in their favor. So they can slow play this if they choose to. ETC taking way too much free damage. The Ring of Frost catches 4. Down goes Cassia. Stage dive for the re-engage. Eternal Feast on top of that, forcing ETC back, but it is 3 members of Bancho. Make it 4, soon to be 5. This is going to be curse and should be game if they just run through mid right here with the Katas and the all this stuff here mid, or run it through top. Either one. They have 50 seconds to decide what they want to do, and what they want to do is march straight to core one way or the other.
team has destroyed a
30 seconds left after a little bit of a rough start. House of Chez coming back strong with a couple of huge, and I mean huge, late game team fights to secure this game 1. Really well played by those guys after a little bit of a rocky start. And worth reminding everybody that if House of Chez takes the 2-0 here, they will secure the tiebreaker over Chez, of course, but they will also jump into 8th place and knock Chez out of playoff contention for the time being, still a couple games left, and put themselves in the driver's seat to secure that 8th and final playoff spot. Just to emphasize the point. Big game here tonight. So let's see how Chez bounces back. Will they take map pick? Will they take first pick? So Chez now going to try to get up off the mat, and they need at least one of these games. I mean, obviously they want two because the standings are just so close in this part of the season and this kind of mid to lower part of the standings. And against House of Chez specifically, they need one game at least to make sure that House of Chez doesn't overtake them outright in this matchup. I'm going to put the BRB screen right up here for about a minute or so, and then we'll be back with game 2. All right, so we are back. We are going to Volskaya Foundry And with House of Chez getting first pick, that means Ban Cho decided they wanted to go with a map pick, and they're taking us here to Volskaya Foundry. Volskaya Foundry is all about the toy collection. The more toys you have, the more likely you are to win. You want those turrets. You want those biotic emitters. You want to deny them from the enemy as well. Objective phases, of course, tend to be longer, drawn-out affairs, holding the points. So anything that enables your team to do that is very valuable. Alex Straza can be very strong on Volskaya Foundry. So waiting for members of House of Chez to grace us with their presence here in the game lobby. And then we'll get this show on the road for game number 2. So it looks like we have members of House of Chez joining us. They're coming to the lobby, and they're going to be hungry, anxious to secure the domination and jump right into that playoff spot. So I have Ard. Ban Cho has Ard. House of Chez has Ard. Somebody's going to press the start game button. And we'll jump into the draft for game 2. If it's anything like game 1, we're in for a close one. That game 1 was more Ban Chos in the early game. They definitely had more early game advantage. But House of Chez hung in there, and they had three really good late game team fights that allowed them to secure that game 1. And they kind of self-corrected some of those synergistic issues where they weren't quite able to land the combos that they needed to secure those team fight wins. So, first pick, first ban, House of Chez here in game 2. And they're going to go with the Sylvanas. That's a great ban. I don't know if people realize, I should have brought up Sylvanas, but how strong she is on Foundry, Volskaya Foundry in particular. Once again, another mage banned out by Ban Cho. Sylvanas is just really good right now as a ranged assassin, particularly once she gets to the 13-16 range. She's really strong. But on Volskaya Foundry in particular, we mentioned the toy collection. It's all about the toys you want to get. Well, Sylvanas' Merc Queen empowers those turrets. So when you plop those things down, Garrosh banned out by House of Chez, when you plop down those turrets and Sylvanas is nearby, they are significantly more powerful. Not only are your turrets significantly more powerful, but it allows her to destroy the opposing team's turrets faster as well. So Sylvanas is very strong on Volskaya Foundry, and House of Chez says no thank you. There's going to be another mage banned out for Ban Cho. No, this time they opt to let the Gul'dan through, and they do not want to deal with Tyrande. And I love first pick Anubarak. He was still on the board, an insta pick by House of Chez, locking down Anubarak. And there's the Johanna prioritization again by Ban Cho. Second pick will be Ariel. Interesting. So I wonder if this is going to be some kind of a hyper carry comp. You used to see Ariel Vala a lot. Gul'dan Ariel is also a thing as well. When Ariel first came out, and Sonya was more in the meta, there was a thing for a little while where you'd pair Ariel with the Sonya, and you would take the talent where she gets hope based on the damage taken of her target, and Sonya would just kind of whirl in there and just power her up. Flip side, once again, Jaina for Chez mix again. But this time Caribou, without Tyrande available, gonna grab that Stukov before the ban phases come around. Stukov was very strong last game. If you can land those big lurking arms, Stukov is really difficult to deal with. So mid ban coming out by House of Chez. They will get rid of the Blaze. And mid ban for House of Chez. Let's see who they go with. And it is going to be Gul'dan. I like that ban. Gul'dan and Ariel are really strong together. But, you know, Josh still may have nailed it. Ariel also portends to a Cho'Gall. Cho'Gariel is definitely a thing. So maybe their name, Bancho, was advice for the other team. Okay, no. That was their last chance to do it. They're not going to be able to now. Instead, they're going to go with Imperius and Orphea one more time. Very big front line coming out for Bancho. Phoenix, Ragnaros. So a little light on the front line. Anubarak is not a particularly heavy main tank. You know, Ragnaros is a bit of a bruiser, so they're definitely going to have to be judicious with the use of their hit points. House of Chez, they don't want to take a lot of free damage. That's something they had actually in their favor in Game 1. They just had so many more hit points than Bancho, and that's actually not something you think about. You know, how much health your team has is a resource to burn. If you have more than the other team, it gives you a little bit of a more margin for error, and that's not something House of Chez is going to have this game. Bancho rounding it out with Hanzo. And here we go. Into Game 2. Josh wanted the Cho'Gall. It was there for him if they wanted it, but you know, drafting a Cho'Gall into an Anubarak Cocoon can be a little rough. So they may have thought about it, and not so much with the Anubarak on the board. Cho'Gall is one of the heroes that's kind of hard to pick when the other team has a chance to respond to it, so you really only want to pick it, you know, in the last 2 spot when the other team only has 1 pick left. If you can, anyway. Game number 2 between our blue team, Bancho, featuring Bluestein on Imperius, Spice on Ariel, Slugganon on Orphea, Quinnell on Hanzo, and Shusi on Johanna. Versus our red team, House of Chez, Caribou having a good time on Stukov in the Hall of Storms, Flash on Anubarak Chez mix on Jaina, Death 1300 on Ragnaros again, and Mariners 005 on the Phoenix. So Imperius will not partake in the ceremonial 5v5 clash in the mid lane. Actually, both teams being fairly passive. So this is the second time in a row we've actually seen Bancho run with a Johanna in the solo lane. It's not a role you typically see her in. She can do it because her wave clear is good. She's very difficult to gank, good sustainability. It's just not something you see a lot because usually on her team she is the main tank focus. Ragnaros will rotate bottom to play with Johanna. And with no tank here in these top 2 lanes, Bancho playing a little more passive for sure. And they're not rotating in the same way that House of Chez is. House of Chez doing a more traditional rotation with the solo laner, while Ban Cho is just kind of leaving people in each lane. And it's actually House of Chez that rotates onto their turret camp first. They secure it. Ban Cho just a short bit behind them with Orphea and Ariel on the turret camp. However, Phoenix and Stukov are coming to invade. Jaina and Anubarak are right behind them. The turret is still here. Imperius is coming. He might be a little late. This is going to turn into a 5v5 very quickly. House of Chez actually uses the turret to secure the other turret, and on the backside, Imperius impales Jaina, and an aggressive rotation for House of Chez backfires, as not only do they lose their turret, but they lose Stukov, Jaina, Ragnaros, and Phoenix is going to feel that in the morning. No two ways about it. So big moment there in the early game for Ban Cho, denying the turret from House of Chez, picking up a few kills, 3 of them to be precise. They'll also secure the biotic emitter, and I assume rotate over to their merc camps as well. Yes. Oh, yes. Maybe. No. Okay, so both teams not going to grab the Bruiser's top lane to push during the objective. They're just going to make their way here. Phoenix is still in the top lane. Both frontliners for House of Chez still in the bottom lane. So Ban Cho with the superior positioning for the moment. When you're standing on this mid objective, though, you really need to be aware of those little conveyor belts there, because it allows anybody in the bottom lane to come in on the flank really, really hard. And a little bit of maybe indecision here by House of Chez. Now they're rotating top. They're putting some pressure here in this top lane. I think they're trying to force out a rotation from House of Chez. If that was their plan, it worked, because House of Chez, I should say Ban Cho, did come off the point to contest bottom. Now House of Chez may be rotating down, and they are. Nice. Zoning there by the Orphea. Whip goes into the flash. Now both sides are here. Ragnaros not quite here yet. Flash is pretty low for the tank to be taking all that damage, though. They need to step in. House of Chez does if they want to contest it, but it's a little bit of indecision. Now Flash goes deep, and this is one of the things that I was concerned about. Anubarak is not the most durable of tanks. You can't quite go that deep. You really got to pick your spots, and Anubarak burrow charged in there and was absolutely destroyed. So Ban Cho showing no ill effects from the first game, as Ragnaros does pop the Molten Core to deter this Rock'em Sock'em robot from attacking the mid lane. It deters him so well, he simply rotates to the top, which is kind of where you want to see it go anyway. Most teams will prioritize this top lane with the objectives. Chesmic steps too far with the Jaina and eats the root and all of the gunner damage from the Triglav Protector. But typically you want this first Triglav Protector to prioritize the top lane and see if you can get that fountain. That's really the goal. Get rid of the fountain if you can, so the other team does not have it for the next objective. However, it looks like Ban Cho not able to do that, or they're just waiting for cooldowns to come back. They might just be waiting for cooldowns. 5 seconds.
To its limit. Well done.
So Johanna now in her more traditional role with the 4-man burrow charge targeting the Hanzo. He simply natural agilities over the wall. Or is natural agility Genji? I always forget which. So 4 unanswered kills here for Ban Cho. Well on their way to level 10s before their opponents. A little bit of a bush gank here from... there it is. The burrow charge lands. The Blizzard doesn't. A lot of damage onto Hanzo, and they get him. Caribou with the money. Lurking arm. Despite Jaina not able to maximize her damage on the gank target, Caribou came around on the backside, hit a huge lurking arm to lock him down and allow Anubarak to auto-attack him. Auto-attack him back to the Nexus. Or Hall of Storms, I should say. trying to get the Imperious. Expect the burrow charge. There it is. There is the Q on top of it. There's the lurking arm. There's the Jaina. Down goes Imperious. So similar to game 1 is game 2. House of Chez, kind of a rough start, but then they seem to find their footing. A couple of nice rotational kills there on Hanzo and Imperious, showing some nice push ganks there. Heroics are online for both teams. We have Angelic Armaments, Eternal Feast, Dragon Arrow, Crystal Aegis, and Blessed Shield for Ban Cho. House of Chez, it's going to be Cocoon, Purification Salvo, Lava Wave, Flailing Swipe, Jaina, TBD, being a little bit cheeky with that selection, and it is going to be Welly. So Phoenix is actually on this camp. He's not here to reinforce. Oh, thank you, Dealer Smack. House of Chez, now we'll have Phoenix. The Impale onto the Flash, doesn't quite connect. Both teams posturing over the Biotic Emitter. Neither one able to secure. Ban Cho simply giving up the position. And neither team going on the heal camp. Or are they?
A protector is almost ready. Access its terminal when I bring it.
So now House of Chez looks like they're moving in aggressively, trying to find somebody. Flash is hunting. He finds Johanna in the bush. He needs to punish for it. And a whip and some damage. Forced to burrow charge away to safety. That's a nice play by Flash to not use necessarily that burrow charge offensively if you can't extricate yourself from the situation. He saved it there, used it to get himself out of trouble. Both teams very, very even in level. Kind of a ring around the rosy rotation there from House of Chez, and they may have gotten Hanzo. He is able to get out of there before the lurking arm went down. It was a close thing, though. So second time in a row, Ban Cho is on the point first. Both sides have their wells up. Both sides have a single turret. So this is about as even is going to get until House of Chez picks up level 12, and then it will be dead even. And he does pop Molten Core. So I guess that's just for a positioning to drive them off. The Impale goes directly onto Phoenix. Good zoning Blizzard. Then they use Cocoon on the Imperious there and get the damage onto Orphea. Down she goes even before Purification Salvo was needed. Johanna and Jaina both in a lot of trouble, and down they both go. A 2-4-2. Burrow Charge does not land onto the Aria, which is too bad because they're able to take out Phoenix on the backside there. So a 2-for-3 favoring Ban Cho, and the second Triglav Protector of this game will be secured by Ban Cho.
Blue team has taken control of a protector.
And Anubarak, he took a lot of free damage there. I kind of wonder if House of Chez wouldn't have been better served to hold on to that Molten Core and just have Ragnaros walk in there with them. They had, one less body to block and zone and do damage, and maybe save the Molten Core for defense. Just something to think about. I think they might have benefited more from Ragnaros' actual physical presence in that engagement. So pushing in hard here is Ban Cho. Two-man condemn and punish. Chez mixes in trouble, eats the Blessed Shield, and sent back to the Hall of Storms. Jaina goes down. Ban Cho looking strong as they lay siege to this bottom fort. Here comes the Lava Wave, though, and it's going to catch a number of the members of Ban Cho. Crystal Aegis to keep Johanna up, but Ariel eats almost the full effects of it. Imperious cocooned out, stunned as a follow-up, but unable to secure the kill. That is another unanswered kill in favor of Bancho. So both sides are on their turrets. House of Chez will secure it before Sushi gets here. And for the first time this game, will one of these sides be able to secure the biotic emitter? Bancho is there. They're almost done with it. And they do. While they were securing the healing totem, House of Chez actually picked up the top camp, which I'm sure will be cleared in short order here by Bancho. You hear my new co-casters because my cat broke into the room where I'm at because he thinks it's his dinner time and he's making a lot of noise. So House of Chez really wants to get 16s here first. I like Bancho opting to save their top camp. I would think to coincide with the objective here. And that's what it looks like they will do. Orphea and Ariel are on the top camp. The rest of the team clearing lanes, soaking experience, doing a little maintenance. And now I imagine both teams will rotate top and brawl over positioning for these. Johanna face checks the bush and finds Phoenix. Both teams are here. Burrow charge defensively for Anibre. A little bit of a bush here. Ariel checks it, but not quite far enough. Thanks, man. Have a good night. So 16s are here for both teams. The objective is about to pop. House of Chez is able to clear out the mercenaries, and in exchange, they will lose their mid fort. So that's 2 forts down now for House of Chez. They also do not have their bottom fountain as well. And for the third objective in a row, sorry about that, third objective in a row, Bancho is on the point first, but a nice aggressive invade here by House of Chez. They're going to try to deny this. They have caught Bancho here. Purification salvo, Jaina stuff, and once again, late game flashes from House of Chez, but a huge counter engage catches 3. Looked so good for them. They got the Johanna first, but Orphea just absolutely popped off with a huge Eternal Feast, securing the triple kill nearly single-handedly. Fighting in those chokes against an Orphea can be pretty dangerous. And now we have a counter engage by Bancho, taking House of Chez's turrets, and there's going to be 2 turrets, I would guess, waiting, and a biotic emitter, waiting for House of Chez when they're all up. They will probably have time to contest this if they want to, but they need to all get here now. If they don't, this might be the last chance for a same tier talent fight until post 20 at least. So House of Chez opting to give up the objective one more time, rotating onto this top camp to at least get a little pressure in the opposite lane, and now they will come down as a team to defend this. Both teams sending all 5 heroes down to the bottom lane. And if you're Bancho, you secure 2 or 3 kills here. You can think about Core. Great burrow charge by Flash to get himself out of a pretty rough spot. Molten Core used defensively, going to drive back Bancho and the Rock'em Sock'em robot. Don't over pursue, guys. Just drive him back. Now, the Trickle-Off Protector will last longer than Molten Core, so nice patience here by Bancho. Down goes Molten Core, and now they're going to go ahead and step in with the siege on this bottom keep. The Protector, or the Molten Core, though, did serve its purpose. The Protector is about at half health. even before it starts its siege, but they're pretty strong 16 minutes into the game. Plus 2 turrets and a biotic emitter. This keep is going down and going down fast. The real question is, how far does Bancho think they can take it? They have already committed 1 turret to this keep. Are they going to go another keep? Are they going to go 4? No. So it looks like they're going to try for some more keep damage. And also this will very likely secure them 20 very, very soon. Three, two, one. Triglav Protector is down. Bancho in complete control of this game. All of their defensive structures are up. They have taken down all but 2 keeps of House of Chez. They have 2 turrets still and a heroic level 20 advantage. And here comes the re-engage, but the re-engage is right into a lava wave lurking arm. Purification Salvo actually only hits 1, and again, the Eternal Feast absolutely wrecks. They are tanking keep here, though. I don't know if they realize that. They should have saved one of those turrets to tank keep, actually. But it is not going to matter. With 40 seconds before the members of House of Chez can respawn to defend, this is very likely going to be game 2 going over to Bancho. Let's see if they can finish it off. Now, 2 katas on core will make a difference if they bring them in. They are already firing at core, so that's all they need. And there it is. We are going to have a Game 3, ladies and gentlemen, and that was a big one for Bancho, because it means regardless of the outcome of this Game 3, House of Chez will not overtake them in the standings. They still want this Game 3, though. They need all the points they can get. There's so many teams in the mix for these last few spots, as I mentioned. And the tiebreaker is very important. They definitely want that tiebreaker versus House of Chez. So I'm going to show those talents real quick. And then we're going to put up the BRB screen for a minute or two while teams figure out where we're going to go for Game 3. And while I feed my cat so he doesn't stop so he stops spot. Okay. All right, guys. Be right back for Game 3. I turned on the wrong sound input, so you didn't hear what I said. We're back for Game 3 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. House of Chez opting for map pick here in our decisive Game 3. Alright, sorry about that. So just waiting for House of Chez to give the R. And then we'll get going here for Game 3. After this game, I will throw you over to one of the other NGS games in progress. However, if you're so inclined to seek me out again tonight, at 8 o'clock, Regen Blue is playing Wholesome Halfwits at Dead Latin's page, so twitch.tv/DeadLatin33, or you can catch Regen Blue playing Wholesome Halfwits at 8 o'clock. So it looks like both teams are here. Hopefully those R buttons coming out. All right. Waiting for the R's, waiting for the R's. So Tomb of the Spider Queen, the smallest of our 3-lane maps, definitely the one where it can go long sometimes. The wind conditions are not spectacular. Usually it's, but not always, but usually it's with a boss. Sometimes these late games in Untomb can be a little draggy, on-y. They can kind of keep going a little bit. Let's see how this one goes. I wonder if House of Chez is going to ban out the Orphea. They seem to struggle with their both games, but Game 2 in particular, they really kind of piled in on her AoE stuff. And the easiest way to deal with that is to simply not deal with her. You ban her out. So first pick, first ban, or to ban choke. So it is going to be Tyrande banned again, and a Nubarak banned for House of Chez. And not letting Ragnaros come again, and a Johanna ban. So definitely some changing in the draft strategy as these games have gone along. 2 games in a row, House of Chez has taken Ragnaros. He will be banned out now on Tomb, where he's very good. And 2 games in a row, Bancho has taken Johanna, and they will not, because he's not available. And I was going to say, Diablo is sitting there ripe for the picking. Bancho must have read my mind. And then the insta Gul'dan Ariel for the side of House of Chez. So what's the response? If you are Bancho, I wouldn't mind seeing a Anna here for the healing reduction. Is very good. She's very good generally. There's going to be a Jaina and a Rhaegar. So Diablo Jaina always good. That's the APOC Ring of Frost. If they want to get really OG with it, they can take Zeratul, or no, they can't. Because House of Chez smelled what that was cooking there and knows they're a tool for the kind of OG Wombo combo. Last ban for ban Cho. Are they actually going to ban Cho? No. They will ban Blaze, keeping Blaze out of the hands of House of Chez one more time. So 10 seconds left before House of Chez has to make their next two selections. And it will be Varian Mal'Ganis. So House of Chez really pulling one out of left field here, completely dissimilar to everything they have ran. I assume that is going to be some kind of off-tank Varian. But it could be Taunt. Taunt's always good, even if you're not the main tank. So what are the responses out of Ban Cho? This timer's going to go all the way down to the end because I doubt that they had Varian Mal'Ganis on their radar. I'm pretty sure this is as they take Junkrat ETC. So nice, big, beefy, lots of beef and CC on the front line coming out by Ban Cho, plus displacement out of the Junkrat. So this game, having some new heroes here. Diablo, Junkrat, Rhaegar, Mal'Ganis, Varian, Gul'dan, none of which we've seen so far this evening. I haven't seen a Mal'Ganis at all this season, as House of Chez rounds out their composition with the Taigas. So who do we like? I kind of like Ban Cho's draft a little bit better. I think it's going to be a little bit easier to execute. There's a lot of peels, a lot of displacement, a lot of damage, a lot of poke. Junkrat poke on the turn is really annoying. On the flip side, though, Mal'Ganis, when he first came out, was really a hot commodity, and he kind of just fell off. I don't know if it's teams like learned to play against him or what, but let's see if House of Chez is going to be meta-altering and bringing Mal'Ganis back. The blue team, Ban Cho, featuring Quinnell, riding a zebra, playing Junkrat, Slug It In on Jaina, Spice on Diablo, riding a horse with a tablecloth, Rhaegar, played by Bluestein, and ETC, played by Shusi. The red team, House of Chez, Chesmix on Varian, Mariners on Mal'Ganis, Flash on Gul'dan, Caribou on Ariel, and Death. So let's see if Spice pulls off the Mongoose patented Diablo death, which is almost guaranteed. Every time I play Diablo, I will die in the first minute of the game simply to remind myself that you don't have any souls, you fool. You're not that durable yet. So if you're looking as to hints as to what Chesmix is going to pick it for Varian, he picked Lion's Maw, I believe that quest is called. Yes, the key quest, which doesn't show us anything really. In the meantime, bottom lane, it's going to be Mal'Ganis dueling with ETC. When is the last time you saw this solo lane matchup? Never will you see two heroes do so little damage to each other in such a long period of time. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Chesmix caught out. Tyka's doing a ton of damage, as is Gul'dan. Both sides exchange pleasantries and move along their way. ETC is durable enough for that solo lane. His problem is going to be wave clear. You can see that with just how far back Mal'Ganis pushed the lane and then just simply went and turned in. Gul'dan is in trouble. Flash, poor Flash, first blood over to Ban Cho. If you're those squishy heroes, ladies and gentlemen, you just can't be the first person into that bush. Let your tank eat all that. That's what he's there for. Dibbles is just sitting there sharking around to grab somebody, and if Ariel comes any closer, it's going to be her. Blizzard is out, and there it is. There is the domination, the shadow charge into the wall, the body blocks, but it's actually Diablo who goes down first. Just standing there, was so concerned about body blocking that Ariel. Tychus just got full value out of that minigun and absolutely shredded poor Diablo. Wasn't quite in the first minute. Great peels by Chesmix to keep Caribou up there, who gets away with less than 200 health. One of the things about Ariel is she's a pretty good teamfight healer, but is just not great at topping off her allies in between team fights, and you can see that evidence there. Tychus pretty far out. There's the simply charging at him on the mount, but Chesmix there to throw out the slows and keep Dibbles off of Tychus. Mal'Ganis is really doing a number in this bot lane, has turned in gems after gems. ETC just doesn't have the tools to deal with this. He's not in any danger to die or anything, but this bottom lane is being won pretty hard by House of Chez. Nice whip there by Caribou, getting Chesmix a little bit of breathing room. With Mal'Ganis winning that bottom lane so hard and kind of turning in, House of Chez has been just creeping towards their first turn in, and they are, boy, ever closer, ever closer. And it is taunt variant. I actually like that. I think sometimes with variant you can get a little bit too cute, but more lockdown, more point and click, hold this guy here. Flame Stomp to deny the turn-in. I would imagine he would just restart it up again, and he does. This time it's actually 13 gems that are going to go in uncontested, but I missed it. The rotation to the bottom will kill Mal'Ganis. House of Chez had a free turn-in top if they do it, but I think it's going to be too late. I think this is going to be Bancho getting first turn-in of the game. Wolf Bite onto Varian, eats the power slide and the face melt. Chesmix is in trouble. Not able to get himself out of this situation. Goes down to Bancho as their web weavers descend onto the battlefield. So pretty good defense there mid. However, top is getting a lot of value. A very large wave and the web weavers. Varian maybe getting a little bit too hyphy there. But Spice with a little bit of anti-synergy actually dominated him out of the blizzard. He would have been in a much rougher spot there if Diablo had just held him there. But top fort going to go down. And a full 3/4 level lead, let's call it, for Bancho. In the top lane, or the bottom lane, I should say, aided by the web weavers, ETC finally able to push Mal'Ganis back. 20 gems being dropped in the bottom by Bancho. However, House of Chez does have turn-in, and they want to do it sooner rather than later. They don't want to let Bancho get to level 10s first. They want to do it now if they can. And they are. Mal'Ganis was actually able to get those in the bottom lane. Shadow Charge onto ETC, then taunted and eats the full minigun plus a grenade for his trouble. Ice limping back toward his base, gonna tap the fountain. Red web weavers descending from the heavens. And let's see what House of Chez is able to do with their first turn-in of this game. They're going to want to do something fast, because once level 10s are on board here for Bancho, and they're rotating, they can get Rhaegar or Jaina here. Jaina too slow to rotate away. Charge, taunt, damage, whip into the wall. Junkrat mine for some peels. Buys her a little bit of time, but on the backside, Junkrat is just laying into Ariel. So they are able to get the Jaina Level 10s here any moment for Bancho. That's a nice, strong rotation from House of Chez, though, putting some damage into the mid lane structures. And actually, our team's got level 10s at almost the exact same time. It's going to be Riptire, Mosh Pit, Ring of Frost, Apocalypse, I assume Ancestral Healing, there it is, for Bancho. And for the side of House of Chez, Horrify, Laser. Is it Carrion Swarm? It is. Carrion Swarm for Mal'Ganis, Crystal Aegis for Ariel, and Shield Wall for Varian. A little bit of a scatter and engage, a one-on-one duel in the bottom, a little bit of a four-man skirmish here in the mid lane. Both sides have turn-in now, so it's whichever one's going to be able to manipulate the map and get it first. Diablo putting Varian into the wall, forces the shield wall proc without getting a lot of value. One of the big tools here is going to be Horrify. Bancho needs to make very, very sure they don't overstep. There's the taunt on the Diablo. He actually did get in on the Gul'dan, but there's the Ring of Frost APOC combo. Doesn't get nearly as much value as they wanted it for Bancho. There's the Horrify isolating out Rhaegar. He is going to go down. Mal'Ganis on the backline wreaking some havoc. Unfortunately, for Bancho, the APOC Ring of Frost combo just did not get value. Crystal Aegis was timed very well to counteract that, and that was about all she wrote there. When you use two, 100-second cooldowns and get zero value out of it, you're going to lose the team fight. There goes the taunt. The rest of the members of House of Chez are here. Whip into the wall. ETC really getting chunked out, and down he goes. Tychus caught in a blizzard momentarily, really gets knocked around a little bit as well. Quinol just sitting on the flank, lobbing grenades in. House of Chez, though, showing signs of life. There goes the engagement onto Diablo, pushing in with the Web Weavers. Mal'Ganis goes in to try to sing Bancho a lullaby, unable to get anybody with it, but he does drive them back. Flash is way too far forward, forces his teammate to come in, pop the laser drill, and zone Bancho away. Bottom fort will go down. Are they going to rotate away, or are they going to continue pushing in? They do continue pushing in. Power slide and shadow charge onto Mal'Ganis, but he is a durable, beefy boy. They get ETC with the taunt and the stun. Mosh Pit only catches two. Grenade interrupted. Nice job by Death there, although APOC, Ring of Frost, this time is effective. So far, both teams absolutely getting annihilated, but it is Rhaegar that goes down, and House of Chez escapes with very low health. Fighting in the tight corridors there, just no place for either team to avoid damage, and they just really tore into each other. This was a very good turn-in for House of Chez. They're able to get a couple kills as well as 2 forts. Almost 3. This top fort is very low. They just kind of need to go up there and throw a sandwich at it or something, and down it'll go. Now, Mal'Ganis is not here. Neither is Tychus. I really question House of Chez. If they step into this, they cannot, and they are backing up. Engage onto the Varian with the power slide. No follow-up. There goes a Varian in again, and the anti-healing a smidge early. Ancestral brings Diablo back into full form. Mal'Ganis walks away at the top, unable to finish the fort, and Bancho able to get their second Web Weaver turned into the game. However, these lanes are pretty far out, so we'll see how much value they get. A nice shield wall by Varian, a huge two-man stun, and a Horrify completely breaks up the fight from Bancho. Here goes a counter-engage. Riptire catches two. Varian isolated away, forced to pop shield wall again. Mariners, though, on Mal'Ganis is really doing a number on Bancho. He's just been so disruptive. Anytime Bancho tries to go in for a good, clean disengage, there's a Horrify waiting on the other end, or a Crystal Aegis, or just Mariners on that Mal'Ganis, singing them a lullaby, stunning them. There's so many tools for House of Chez to break up and disrupt the engagements from Ban Sho. They haven't really found an answer. Once we've gotten into the 5-on-5 team phase of this game, Laser goes down, zoning away Ban Sho. They are in full retreat. And let's see where they go now. Mal'Ganis in the top lane to soak. The rest of the members of House of Chez go to clear out bottom. Now Mal'Ganis is making his way down here. Diablo sharking around for a clear engagement, but none to be had. Alright, sorry about that. I was just going to let my caster know that we are running very close to my game time. And now it's House of Chez, giving up the turn-ins on the bottom to take this free fort top. However, Merc's pushing in bottom, Merc's pushing in mid. A lot of map pressure for Ban Sho here. And let's see how House of Chez responds. They're going to lose that bottom fort, for sure. A little bit of aggressive rotation from Mal'Ganis, while the rest of his team was kind of split away from him. So only 2 gems. 1 gem, no gems. House of Chez now does have turn-in, and with Ban Sho on boss, I don't think they realize it, but this turn-in is free. So Ban Sho making a boss play. House of Chez turning in. Let's see how close they are to finishing this. They're not very far into it. House of Chez can come up here, and the out call is made. Ban Sho realizes that that might be a bit dicey. They don't have 16s. The boss does finally root. So bottom lane's going to get no value. The Mercs are there to stunt that. However, top and mid are pretty far out. So let's see where House of Chez is going to put their priority. I would imagine it would be top. That's usually where the priority goes. Top lane is boss lane. Oh my god, somebody smacked that wall. Somebody smacked that wall right there. So here we go. 5-on-5 in the top lane with the Web Weavers. House of Chez laying siege to the top keep, looking. There's the flip over the wall. Chez makes it in trouble, though. They gotta burn down this front gate, and they do. Shield wall is good. Laser goes down. APOC Ring of Frost Mosh Pit is gold. And House of Chez is absolutely annihilated. Holy moly, that is a 5-4 knot. The execution for Ban Sho really on point there. APOC Ring of Frost Mosh Pit. And this Web Weaver phase is over in dramatic fashion. Ban Sho now rotating onto the boss. They are looking to get value. They'll actually get a boss and a turn-in off of that, and looking to turn this game around. There's the boss. Now on to turn-in. I will say that this bottom lane with these katas is starting to pile up. They're going to start locking onto this keep here very soon. And so the Web Weavers will keep that out, but the mid and bot lanes are really pushed out by House of Chez. It's really only this top lane that they need to worry about. But worry about it in a big way they do. A huge concussion mine catches Tychus out. Crystal Aegis will save him for now. But now is over and he is dead. A great Horrify, though, might get the counter kill onto ETC. Ring of Frost catches 1, but it's Varian who shield walled it. ETC went down. Mal'Ganis, blind as a bat, going crazy on the backside, just annihilating everybody on Ban Sho. Mariners on this Mal'Ganis has been an absolute terror. And now House of Chez making a big statement on the counter engage. We do not care about boss. We want the kills, and the kills they are getting. Jaina down, Junkrat down, ETC down, Diablo down. Blind as a bat, Horrify was huge, and this game is like a heavyweight boxing match. Big haymaker after big haymaker, putting the other team down on the mat. What a play by House of Chez. And all of a sudden, this game is right back to even. Flash, don't eat that little purple juice, though. No reason for that. I mean, it does not get any more even than this. Look at the structures. Dead even. Look at the kills. Dead even. Look at the experience. Pretty much dead even. Look at the gems. Neither team really close to turn in. This game 3 was everything we hoped it would be.
The clutch is ready to form again.
Bancho is on their bruiser camp. House of Chez on the siege giants in the bottom lane here. Neither team really knows where the other are. They're kind of sharking around for each other, though. Junkrat is showing top. So if House of Chez can find somebody, maybe they take the engagement there. They do have 20s now, too. It is the Horrify upgrade, which makes whoever is horrified vulnerable. The Tychus laser drill upgrade, which makes that thing seem like it stretches all the way across the map. I like what House of Chez was trying to do there. They were trying to find a 20 fight, and I love what Bancho did. They said nope, and they ran right back to their base. Here we go for level 20s. Really worth keeping an eye on what ETC does for that reason. We have death metal at level 20. House of Chez needs to be so aware of that. In my humble opinion, I think ETC has the most versatile level 20 tier. Really, all of his talents at 20 are good. And here comes Bancho, the whip to keep ETC away. If you're House of Chez, fight in the spell armor. If you choose to fight, that's where you want to be. Nice clean disengage off of an aggressive ETC. ETC pushing it there. House of Chez is pushing in with the spell armor with the Merc camp. Chesmix checking the flank. Nice job there. Although here comes ETC on the backside. This is a setup for a big flank. Junkrat really disrupts that. And here he comes. He is all by himself, though. And Shui, he's thinking about it, but decided the better of it. And I think that was the right call. If he got taunted into like minigun there, ETC could have been in for a world of hurt. And this is kind of what I insinuated in the early game on how sometimes Tomb of the Spider Queen can go. There's not a lot of win conditions, and the late game now is just kind of teams posturing. You're kind of waiting for them to stumble into each other, and that is what happened there, nearly. Chesmix wisely checking the bush with his Q. Charge onto Varian, no domination. They do catch Mal'Ganis for now, and here we go. If teams decide to go for it, which they didn't, that could have been the team fight that decides the game. And really, the next 5-on-5 team fight, if it's decisive, could and should decide how this game goes. Boss is up now, so that is a win condition for both of these teams. And they're baiting boss. Bancho baiting out the boss. Don't face check it, guys. Use an ability. And now with Junkrat showing here in the mid lane, they know it's not likely that they're on it. And they're just kind of taking turn in. They have 56 gems. They only need 4 more. Gul'dan is turning into the bottom. There goes ETC, setting him up. However, House of Chez is very split. Chesmix is in trouble, and down he goes. So they trade Varian in a kind of a awkward rotation for House of Chez. They trade Varian's life for a turn-in. I don't know if it's going to be worth it because they have to be so careful being down a man, and that's so many gems to invest. And here comes Bancho. They know they have the advantage, and they are being aggressive. ETC kind of stunted away by Mal'Ganis. Blind as a bat, going crazy again. Horrified. Carrion Swarm. Everybody pressing their buttons. House of Chez is taking the 5v4. The Riptire is actually destroyed before it detonates. House of Chez is getting as much out of this as they could hope. There goes the laser drill, and they're winning this 5v4 as long as they don't over-pursue, don't go crazy. They do get the Junkrat, who is cleansed. APOC, Ring of Frost, only catches Tychus. He gets a big kill, but will he be able to get out in time? Crystal Aegis on top of it. Moshpit only catches Tychus, but the Junkrat Mine actually saves Tychus. Oh my goodness, what happened there? Junkrat Mine saving Tychus. House of Chez able to stay alive and draw out the 5v4. And what did that buy them? 2 keeps. The whole time that running skirmish was going on, the Web Weavers were pushing down mid, down bot. Bancho putting too much priority on the team fight, not able to get back and defend, and they gave up 2 keeps for that. House of Chez, are they eyeballing boss? Are they going to defend turn-in? What is the play if you're House of Chez? Whatever it is, you need to be patient. Patience, House of Chez. So Mal'Ganis is split off again. Chesmix is checking here. They know they're turning in, but House of Chez is too far away to contest this in force. They got to give this up. Gul'dan and Mal'Ganis are just too far. A nice grenade, but they need to back up. If Diablo catches anybody, they're in trouble. Chesmix, no! No, Chesmix, run! Gul'dan and Mal'Ganis are on the way up here, finally. Blue Web Weavers have turned in. But man, those lanes are so far forward for House of Chez. Only the top lane is going to get any value, and I like the decision for Bancho here to prioritize the top lanes. However, with Katas in mid, Katas in bot, Mercs in bot, the House of Chez minions may actually beat the Web Weavers. Prioritizing the minion clear by House of Chez. Nice job by them. This has turned out to be a fantastic series. Game 3 in particular has been absolutely epic. A nice use of the drill to zone away Bancho. This Web Weaver is dead. It is gone. The anti-siege of Gul'dan combined with the laser, Carrion Swarm forced to be popped to make sure Mal'Ganis doesn't go down with the Junkrat Mine. It may not have been necessary, but at this point in the game, maybe better safe than sorry. Mal'Ganis definitely taking a lot of poke there. I like what Flash is doing, staying pretty safe, staying way back. This actually keep they're getting more value out of than they did the top, but once again, the Web Weaver is going to go down. The keep will still be up. House of Chez still sitting solid. And now neither team has a win condition. Oh my goodness. I like this call by Bancho because they're down in this game. They have to make something happen. And they're going to get this boss. House of Chez has not sniffed out what's going on. Instead, they rotated to their giant, or their bruiser camp mid lane, and I wonder if they just realized, and they did, too little too late. There is no way that this top keep is going to stay up, I don't think. Oh, wow, kind of a strung out rotation here. Diablo might be able to get somebody. Nice job by Mariners to get the stun out and get rid of the Diablo. He does put only ETC to sleep. This is a minute 23 boss. Mal'Ganis is in trouble. Able to get himself out of there with blind as a bat, just going crazy. Not really hitting anything this time, but he doesn't die, and that's important. ETC sharking around the button backside, looking for something big. Does get the initiation, whips him away. Mosh Pit started, I think, but I think the sleep actually interrupted it. So top keep goes down, and my game client crashed, I believe. Oh my goodness, no. I can't see anything, and that is absolutely terrible. I'm going to log back in, and we'll see in 1 minute if this game is still going. Well, I regret to inform you that the game is over, and the client crashed out about 20 seconds before. 20 seconds before Bancho won the game with the boss. That's going to do it for me. I have my own game to play here in about 10 minutes. So hang tight. We're going to send you over to the Regen Retro game right now. If you want to watch myself and Regen Blue take on Wholesome Halfwits, tune into Dead Latin Stream. That'll be going here in about 10 minutes or go. Have a good night, guys.